Hello, 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 my friends. Kaitlyn here, and will being nice stop school shootings? I'm gonna go with a short answer to start because I'm pretty sure the answer is no. So the walk up, not out movement seen on social media and in fact enacted in real life last week in response to the national walkout that was organized after the Stoneman Douglas shooting is nice in theory. It's the idea that you are kind to people at school, specifically loners and people who might usually be excluded. Well, what could be wrong with that? And nothing on the surface. I mean, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I am a huge advocate for being kind to yourself, to others, and how I think treating others with kindness and respect can change our world. But this is going about it the wrong way. First, it's walk up, not out. It's an instead, which really makes me wonder who is out there making these instead hashtags in response to social justice movements. Like, I kind of get why people latch onto these ideas, but who's the person coming up with them and why do they always frame it as an instead? Because personally, I believe that you can support gun control, exercise your right to free speech by organizing a walkout of class, and also try to implement a more kind and caring environment in your school. These are not exclusive concepts. Second, and probably an argument that you've seen already, but it's victim blaming. It's if she hadn't worn that, he wouldn't have raped her language. The people who are victims of rape, domestic violence, bullying, homicide, they are not the ones responsible for the perpetrator's actions. We can what if all day long, but the bottom line is that someone made a conscious choice to bring a gun into school and to shoot their fellow classmates. No matter what those classmates might have done, no one deserves to be murdered like that. And third, it's advocating for this false niceness. Yeah, you might have a great walk up, not out time where you paste sticky notes of love and encouragement on lockers around your school. That is a great initiative, but I wonder how sincere it is and really how long that sincerity will last. I was gonna say teens, but that's not really true. Humans, no matter their age, are pretty fickle creatures. We also tend to stick to herd mentality, so right now, being nice seems like the right thing to do. But give it a few weeks, maybe even a year, and more than likely you're gonna go back to the same cliques and prejudices you had before. I know this because I was both a loner and someone who went out of their way to be nice to outcast, loners, and unpopular kids. I was a weird kid. I was smart and a goody two-shoes and super creative and imaginative, which just really made me stick out. Essentially, I could pass with the smart kids clique, but I also just stuck out too much to be fully integrated. So I deeply sympathize with people who were even more obvious outcasts than I was, and I went out of my way to be friendly to them. Basically like the walk up, not out movement is advocating for, but because I felt a kinship to them and not because I was trying not to get shot. The results of this were I got called a lesbian because someone was making fun of the lone goth girl in my class on picture day, and I stood up for her and said that she looked really pretty. I made friends with the new kid my senior year who no one wanted to sit with because he was the lone out gay kid, and coming from a small conservative town in the South in the early 2000s, this was surprisingly radical. I made friends with the new girl in my gym class who people said smelled because people are cruel. Once I became friends with her, I learned that she had a pretty messed up home life and was maybe homeless for a bit. Basically, this whole walk up, not out thing has kind of ticked me off because these are the people you're forgetting. They are good and kind and sweet people who are a little quirky, yeah, but so was I. So am I. I know exactly how patronizing it can feel to have the popular kids suddenly decide to be nice to you for 5 minutes and then going back to ignoring you, or worse, bullying you. I'm always going to advocate for being kind and understanding to your fellow classmates or to your coworkers or to people you meet on the subway, everyone. But do it because you truly believe in it and you're genuinely looking for the good and unique in other people. Not because someone posted a hashtag online or because you think it will somehow prevent you from getting shot. Kindness isn't a currency. You don't do it in order to get something in return. You do it because it's the right thing. So guys, I do hope that you go out and be nice to your fellow humans. I think it will make a better world. But don't do it instead. Don't do it as a preventative measure. Do it because you are truly trying to connect with the lost and the lonely and the brokenhearted. Which brings us to the question for today. Let's talk about walk up, not out. Do you agree? Disagree with my thoughts? Tell me down in the comments and we can discuss. Plus remember that you can check me out on these other social media sites where I sometimes remember to post things. And if this video made you smile or at least made you think, then remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know the moment there's a new video. And I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye!